we
What's
go.
this on?
This is YouTube. You know, I'm trying to learn some stuff, y'all. I'm multitasking over here. We doing two things at one time. How is everyone doing? Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Oh, gee, why so many people already
She
on the
said, "Why so many people? You ain't got but two people on here." She talking about why so many
That's
people.
too many
Hi, hi,
people.
family. Hey, little bug. How are you guys doing tonight? We are so excited to be here. Um, I'm actually, we're going live from Facebook as well as YouTube. I'm trying to see how that's going to work out. So, um, trying and testing new things. And so, for you guys do not know who I am Nakia Maname, and I have tonight with me Miss Angel, which is my lovely daughter. Look at Grandma over here talking to my two buds. My lovely daughter. Hi, Angel. Say hi on
Hello.
YouTube. Um, y'all help her. She talking about I'm so pretty.
I said I look so pretty on there. Cause like you see that, I look so yeah.
Y'all y'all have to be patient. Y'all know when me and Angel go live, y'all already know it has a little humor. So you have to be mindful. So tonight we're going to talk about bullying. Yeah,
Where
she
is it? There you go. Is it in there? Can you see it?
can't
No, you
go.
can't see it.
Oh Lord Jesus, y'all.
I tried. It wasn't
The
working.
healthy and unhealthy seed. So we are um, dealing with bullying because Angel encountered bullying a lot early on in school. So this was all brought about by a Sister Tiffany actually wanted us to pray for a young lady that was being bullied in school that had attempted to commit suicide. And so, for anyone that knows me and know my passion, suicide is very near and dear to me because at the age of 17, my father committed suicide. And so when she shared that with me, that this young kid wanted to take their life because someone was bullying them, I instantly thought of Angel and how Angel could share her experience about bullying. It was very difficult and challenging for a parent to see and watch their child go through, but I'm very proud of her that she's learned so much from the experience. And so I say to you guys that I hope this be a blessing to you. I hope that you enjoy it. Please like and share. Please comment. And we're going to just dive right in. We don't want to keep you long. You know, of course, we're usually cooking on Tuesdays. We cook more than on Tuesdays, but you know, tonight is our night where we go live. Um, on All Things Nakia page, I actually posted where I am cooking lentil soup. And you guys, it smells so good in here. It smells so good in here. Fix your face, look girl. And I told you that I only fixed a half a bag because I already know that Miss Angel,
No
William,
person
or
having
Angel is going to eat it. It'll just be me.
Angel William, not Angel. You mean
Oh,
Angel
Eric,
William, not Eric?
you know what I'm talking about. See, this is what I deal with when I have to deal with her. When it's just me and her, y'all have to just be mindful. So we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead on and dive right in. And so I'm going to introduce Miss Angel. Introduce yourself, Angel. Give us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, how am I gonna do this? Okay.
You always now, y'all. She gonna act nervous tonight, you guys, and she's always on here talking. Come on, Angel.
Okay. So Angel, aka Miss Angel, if you ain't know. I'm 14. I'm in the 8th grade. And yeah, that's about it. I love cooking with my mom.
Yes, and she's the highlight of the family. I tell you, she is always something going on with her. And so, Angel, share with us a little bit about your experience with bullying. When did it start?
Okay, so bullying started around 2nd, 3rd grade, something like that.
What was, give me an experience, one of your experiences that you dealt with bullying.
So I was being called fat all the time, and I was just always getting picked on, and then people that were my friends would laugh along with them, and I was like, "What kind of friend are you?"
So you had people that were saying things, ugly things in regards to your weight. And people that were supposed to be your friends would participate in the conversations. Not a very cool thing to do, I would say.
I mean, they thought it was funny in like second and third grade. Now it's just stupid.
And so when you got on into fourth and fifth grade, and I think, was it fifth or sixth grade where it was really bad at, won't say the school name, it was sixth grade, where you guys, it was very challenging for me as a parent to watch her go through what she was going through. It was no, I mean, regardless if I went to the school, I dealt with the teachers, outside of me, snatching somebody's kid up, it was very difficult to watch her go through what she had to deal with. She dealt with the low self-esteem, low self-worth. She really isolated herself. She went through a place of depression. And you say, when a kid, how can you be a minister of God? How can you love God? Y'all pray, y'all love the Lord. He heard my cry. And your daughter is going through those type of things, and she's battling depression. How is it that you're not counteracting those things? I was counteracting it with prayer, much prayer, and also speaking life into her, because I didn't want her to take the words that others were speaking to her and begin to believe those thoughts. And I always speak positive, and I speak life into my children. I always have. But in those crucial moments, I made sure that everything she heard negative, I spoke more positive. And so, Angel, she came up with a topic on her own, the healthy and unhealthy seed. And so we're going to let her jump in and give you an overview of what she's going to talk about, because this is not going to be the only night of it. We're actually going to do a series in regards to bullying.
So how do I do this?
So Miss Angel, you started how you want to. So we're gonna hand it over to her and let her give you the overview in regards to her topic.
So do I
What's your topic,
do
ma'am?
I say the first? Do I say those three, and then I just say one of them, and then
Yes.
I go to, okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
So the thing is called the healthy and unhealthy seed, which y'all have heard for a week.
Yes.
It's a week, right? Okay. So y'all have heard that for a week. So the three main topics. The first one is bullying. The second one is the mindset, which I'll hear about that one like next week. And then there's the healing process, which that's after that.
Yeah. Speak up a little bit, Angel.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
You don't have to speak up.
Okay. So bullying. The definition of bullying is to seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable. So the first part of, the healthy and unhealthy seed, everything starts with the seed. So the seed with bullying is the words or just any action that you put during the process thing. So you could either speak negative words into somebody, or you could just do stuff that just hurts them, or you could just be putting them down in a way that they know will get to them the most. Then there's the root and the watering of the seed, which is repetition of words, actions, so on and so forth. So the root, which after the seed, no one really knows the stuff. It's the stuff under the surface. Yeah, no one knows the stuff under the surface. The stuff under the surface with things that, so the things under the surface is with plants. it's the rooting, which you have the what's the thingamajig called?
The embryo.
The embryo.
Okay.
So with the seed, it has to come out of the shell first, right? No, I'm lying. It don't do that until it gets okay. So
Be patient with it, y'all. Be
Okay.
patient.
because it's the first time doing it. So with the seed, it has to get nutrition from. Okay. Need to calm down. This is
Come on. So you have the seed. You plant the seed.
okay. So
What's the process of the seed?
you have to have good soil.
Okay.
It's the soil, the water, and the sunlight.
Okay.
So with the seed, you have to give it nutrition, which is the water. So the water given to the seed, it would be that's repeating of just anything. So then the roots, they'll grow out and that's not what happened. It starts to root out a little bit, and then it'll start to turn and form and stuff like that. So it'll first get its first 3-4
Stems.
stem
What do you?
root stem.
Okay, so you have a seed.
Yeah.
The seed is going to come down, or it's going to go into the roots. It's going to dig
has to
deeper,
clutch.
and it's going to go out.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen until it starts to grow.
Okay, when it starts growing, what does it do? It goes.
It goes up
Okay.
beyond the surface.
Above the surface.
Beyond
the
above
roots
the surface.
is
That's-
beyond the surface. The root is below, and the growth is above.
Okay. Same
Y'all,
thing.
she confusing her own self.
Yeah, right. This is not how this happened. So that's the repeating stage. So when stuff is being repeated to that person, you're just saying constant stuff to them like, oh, you're fat, you're this, you're that, you're full of food, you're ugly, da 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 da. Then goes the sprouting of a bad plant. Right?
Okay.
Right. Which is the depression stage and suicidal thoughts. So depression is feeling of self-doubt, feeling of self-doubt. Suicidal thoughts, deeply unhappy or depressed with thoughts of committing suicide.
And so when you say you have this phase to where you're battling with depression and you're having the suicidal thoughts, what does that look like at your age? And you saying that you dealing with depression?
Well, depression comes in all sorts of ways.
Okay.
It could be you're sad and all extra emotional. You're happy and no one can tell at all. And there's the silent person.
The one that shuts down.
The one that you just would not know anything about. You're just quiet. Would nobody even ask you if you're depressed, you're happy, none of that. The happy person. Everybody thinks they're all happy-go-lucky. Like they have a great life. But then underneath the surface, they're hurting on the inside. They're
Broken.
They're broken. They feel like nobody's there for them. They're alone. Then
I'm sorry.
Then
I'm sorry, because I know I want to interject. So when you're going through depression and you feel lonely, how are you lonely when you have your family and your so-called friends around you? Why would you feel lonely?
Because nobody knows your broken side. Nobody knows what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It doesn't matter if you have people around you. That loneliness is something that's implanted.
By the by the words that someone has spoken.
And
So
you could
you
just feel
begin
lonely
to,
because people, they'll say that they're there for you, and then when you go to lend, like you go and ask them for help, then they're just like, I'm busy right now, da 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 da. And then you're just like, what you mean you busy when all you doing is being on your phone? That's how people feel. Like,
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. This is Miss Angel. Y'all know this is Miss Angel. She generally speaks her mind. I'm sorry. But I love the fact that she's honest, and that's what I want. That's what we have to do. And you know, I interact with my children very openly, and I want them to be open and honest. It was hard, like I shared with you before, it was hard to see her go through that place. And even when I extended, because I have the open door policy, my children can come to me and talk to me about anything. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, y'all could have kept that to yourself. But
and
they
we just like, what? But you told us to come to you. If
I
we got
know,
something to talk.
but I wasn't ready. So in that place of her being bullied, and she come home and she tell me, Mama, this boy said this, or Mama, this girl did this, and this kid is picking on me. And so even when she had things that she was struggling with in her subjects, in her math and reading, that made her feel less than. And then now you have kids over here in her ear, and then she has her own thoughts.
And be like, you're stupid, right?
And then you have your own thoughts. And so you're battling all of these things. You're dealing with all of these issues, and you're a kid. You're a kid. You are not built to deal with these type of things. And so that's where depression sits in, and that's where suicidal thoughts come about.
I forgot something. Okay, so bullying, you don't always have to get bullied by other people. You could bully yourself. With me, I felt bullied, but I was bullying myself because the words that people were saying, I was also saying it to myself. And then my family, I just felt bullied by them too, but they didn't have to say anything. It was just them being there. For some odd reason, I felt bullied by them. And then yeah, everybody else I felt like I was being bullied. I was
So
being
now it's like, and it's just like adults. We get on the offense, on the defense, the offense, offense, every kind of fence, all of them. The adults do the same thing. We throw guards and we build shields to protect ourselves because of an experience we've had with someone, and now everybody is doing the same thing to you. When actuality, it doesn't have to be that, but that's what you perceive. You perceive just that everybody now is doing the same thing to you. I'm not saying that they wasn't.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Over here, girl.
I'm saying because that's what I felt.
Right? No,
I felt that through so much. Like I was like, yo, I got so mad with everybody. Like I'm telling you, nobody would have thought that I was as angry as I was. Cause I'm telling you,
I knew. We knew at home because we had to deal with the extra. It was many a times that I had to grab a hold to her and just hold her, because I can whoop her and I can punish her and all of those things, but none of that was going to change the fact that she was hurting on the inside and she didn't know how to handle what she was dealing with. So I say to you parents, I'm all for chastising your kids, because mine know that they will get it. But you have to walk in wisdom as a parent and know when is the best time. When is it a good time to say, okay, you know what? This is not working. This is not going to solve the issue that's at hand. Let me just love on my child. And that was what I had to do in this place of her dealing with the mental and the self-worth. The self-worth, I think, was the hardest because she didn't believe in herself. She didn't believe that she was capable of being who she was. So, as I shared with you guys previous times before, me and her is walking a place of discovering who we are. So you will see more of Miss Angel because there's so much in her, and she's going to expose that. And so back to you, ma'am, back to your healthy and unhealthy. So you got things on the surface and you have things below the surface. I believe sometimes the things below the surface hurt you more because we can put a facade and show people what we want them to see. But in all actuality, under the surface, you are broken, you're hurt, you're bitter, you're angry, and you're mad at the world.
Yeah.
Yes, you're mad at the world. And so, how did you, when dealing with the bullying, and you got to what grade that it
Ceased
stopped?
a little bit. Around 7th grade. I think it was 7th grade.
How did you walk that out? What did that look like in 7th grade for you?
Was it 7th grade? It could have been last year. It was something like that. But I was still angry. Like, anger and depression was one of my best friends. Like, they were both my best friends last year, the year before that. Yeah. But what was your question?
How did you come out of the place with dealing with the bullying? When you came out of it and it stopped? Was it because kids matured? Was it because the kids that was doing it wasn't around you anymore? Was it that you changed and you just didn't pay attention to them? What did that look like for you coming out on the other side of bullying?
Well, I just stopped listening to everybody because I was like, yo, you telling me something I didn't already heard before. Like, it's nothing new. Like, okay, great. Like, what's that supposed to be? And then I was just like, when we became cool, and I was like, see, we cool now. What we gotta be over here? Why we gotta bully each other? Like, there's no point. And then everybody started maturing. Yeah, we all started to mature and stuff. And then we was all cool, but...
So some of the people that bullied you earlier on that you're still in school with, you guys got to the place to where they didn't do it anymore. As a young lady, a young adult, it is very important that you know who you are. And I think for me, that was one of the biggest things that I tried to instill in Angel, was knowing who she was in the midst of the bullying. Parents, you have to do your job at home. You have to do your job at home. Because when they're away for you from those 8, 9, 10 hours, they're dealing with things. And if they're not prepared, I mean, they fall into so many different things. So many different things. So
there's one more part.
Okay.
Okay. So then there's the last part.
What is the last part, ma'am?
So the last part is isolation, which is not giving sunlight to the plant. So if you don't give the plant sunlight, it ain't gonna grow properly.
So you need to water your plant. You need to water your seed. You need to give it good nutrition. So you need to water it and you need to give it sunlight. So which means you have to give it the positive. Even when you have the negative coming, you have to give the positive because you want the positive to override the negative.
Right.
Okay.
So isolation is to separate, segregate, or to seclude, right? That's the word. Which everybody know what segregation is.
Okay.
Everybody know what separating is.
Okay.
Because you don't actually have to be by yourself to isolate yourself. I've done that so many times. Like, it's like, so you know how people say I zoned out? Like, that could be isolated. You're isolating yourself from the crowd. Like, everybody's talking and you just sitting there and you just acting like you paying attention and then you're just like, and then you thinking. And one thing for me, I hate to think too much. Like, I don't like being by myself because whenever I'm by myself, I start to think. When I start to think, that's a whole depression mode. And that's one thing I don't like.
So for, not just for young people, young people, this is men and women in general, people in general, when your thoughts begin to be louder than what you know in your heart and your spirit to be true, you have to speak out and verbally speak against the negative thoughts. Speak against, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Because when you hear those things, you know that it's not true. You know that you're worth. You know that you are beautiful. You know that you're smart and you're intelligent. Your mind or your psyche will tell you otherwise. And you have to override that by speaking out and saying the opposite of what you're hearing, what you're thinking. So we got the bullying going on and the different experiences. It transpired over a period of time. With the experience of the bullying, you have, what do you have going on here?
You have
the words. So you got people that speak in words, and it's a repetition of words, a repetition of good and bad. And so it goes in a cycle on a kid saying, you're not this, or you're fat, you're ugly, oh, you got braces, oh, why you wear glasses. You know, all of you, we've all been kids. We've all been silly. We've all did things that we're not proud of. But this generation, you guys, if we do not attack this spirit, because it is a spirit of hate that wants to take this generation out. It wants to take our children, and we cannot allow the enemy to come in and deceive them, because that's what it is. It is a spirit of deception. It is a spirit of deception that wants to come and tell them that they're the opposite of what they really are. We have to teach them from little kids who they are. They need to know their identity. So the words, the seeds, you have root and the watering of the seed, the repetition. Depression and suicidal thoughts, the feeling of self-doubt, self-worth. No sunlight given to the growing plant, isolation. So even when the seed has been planted and you're the under the surface thing, you don't see things growing, but things are growing. You want them to grow in the right path and not the wrong path, if you understand what I'm saying. You want your seed to be a healthy seed and not a bad seed, not an unhealthy seed. And when you're planting, when you take a plant and you're planting it in a pot, and if you don't have it in the right size pot, it won't grow right. And you'll find that the roots will become dry and brittle with no life.
Or if you water them, it's more wet, right? Mm-hmm. Like it'll become more wet than the rest of the roots, and the root's not supposed to be like that.
Well, and it's not going to take in the nutrients. Right. And so you have to be mindful of, if you got a plant that's growing in a pot that's not big enough, and it's not getting the nutrients that is needed, it's not going to grow properly. So if we have our children and they're not built, if they're not equipped for the journey, for the road, the path that they're on, they're not going to grow like they should. So we need to make sure that we counteract what the world is doing and give the healthy seed, speak life, pray with and pray for our children. It is crucial in this day and time that your children know not only how to pray, but pray for themselves. There were many a times, Angel, where I don't think that we didn't know what to do but pray. In some of the broken places that she was in, all we knew how to do was pray. Because it was nothing that I said that gave her peace. It was nothing that I could touch or do to compensate the hurt and the pain that she felt. And so all I could do was pray for her. Anything else you want to share, Miss Angel, on tonight?
I was just going to ask if you had any more questions.
Oh, well, let's see if we got some questions on here. Let's see if we got some here.
I was thinking if you had any more questions.
Well, let's see if I can guess.
You supposed to ask me some more questions.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. My bad.
Then it became in the kid. Gotta make sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Really, Angel, ma'am?
Know your child and pay attention when they are behaving different.
Right. You know, my Alice, thank you so much for that. I say Alice, my mom. We're looking at some of y'all comments because we had the other.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I feel so special. He actually. I would give you a round of applause.
I like what mom says. She say, know your child and pay attention when they are behaving differently. It's very, very, very important. Your kids will begin to act out. They
That's true.
will, they won't be the light that they normally are. Angel is a talker. If anybody know Miss Angel, y'all know Miss Angel is a talker. And so for Angel, for Miss Angel not to be herself, you know that it's going to be, it's not her. It's not her if she's not smiling, if she's not being silly, if she's not being goofy. And so I've tried to allow her and her brother their space, give them their space because I like my space. So when I have my moments, I want my moment, give me my moment, please. So I allowed them their space, but I make sure that they don't get too much space.
Because when you get too much space, that's one thing you don't want.
Well, that's open doors. That's
Yeah.
time for the enemy to come and play with your mind, for you to sit and have thoughts and overthinking and underthinking and, so.
So no more questions.
So,
Basically.
well, Angel.
I'm waiting for the question.
She wants some more questions, my baby. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm interviewing Miss Angel. I'm sorry. So Miss Angel, what is something you made the comment in regards to you felt like you were being bullied by your family? If not to be too, but share that with me just a little bit when you say you felt like you were being bullied by your family as well.
Whew. I don't know if I want to share this.
You ain't gotta go put all out dirty laundry out in the street, but be open.
It's not
and
like
trusting.
it was more of like, I don't know.
Come on.
It was one of those situations like, how do I say it?
Just be comfortable.
I'm trying to, but I don't know. I'm trying to find the words for it. So it's like, everything you do is like wrong.
Okay.
Basically. That's how I felt. I was like, so basically I'm doing everything wrong here. Like, when am I going to do something right?
And so, but you're in your growing phase. So, whereas even when you get the correction, it's going to feel like an attack.
Yeah, basically.
And so it's like.
But it was like the 3 people.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Those 3 people made me feel like I was, I don't know. I was so angry. Like, that was anger and we were so close. Like, anger was right down the street, and whenever I needed anger, anger was right there whenever I needed it. Like, that was how that was.
And so how are you dealing with anger now?
Well, I'm doing okay.
But it don't take but a wind to blow and then you mad all over again?
Like, you breathe too hard, I'm already ready to pop somebody. You're like,
pray, Lord, pray, y'all.
but
Pray
you see,
for her.
and then
Pray.
you know how everybody always talking about how it says in the Bible not to get quickened with anger, stuff like that. And I'm like, but God was always quickened with anger. I was like, He the one that created me. I was like, they said that we're created in His image, and He get angry all the time. So like, what? Because like every story that I heard about the Lord, it seemed like He was angry all the time.
So it's like I'm just being like
right.
the Lord.
Like I was like, y'all all want me to be like Him, so that's what I'm doing. Like, and then everybody was like, you're not supposed to be angry all the time. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Anger was like one of my guards, because I always felt like I was getting hurt by just everybody, and I was like, I ain't got time for this no more. Like, we can scrap if you want to. That's how I felt. Sometimes that's how I still feel.
Well, thank God for the Holy Ghost, Jesus. So, Miss Tennyson says, Angel, how did it feel to suppress your feelings?
Okay. Suppress is the. It was okay, I guess.
I mean, so do you know? I mean, if I say it doesn't feel good to suppress, I mean, been there.
To suppress your feelings, that stuff hurt. It hurts worse. It hurts worse than to actually go through the stuff. Like, that's how I felt. I don't know about everybody else, but that's how it was for me.
To not be able to act out, to not be able to be able to respond, and to say, you know what, I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to deal with this, and just push it off in a closet.
That, like, I swept it underneath the rug, and everybody was like, you know, that's not a good thing to do. People. I was like,
old people, I'm sorry.
I was like, that's okay. The sweeping it under the rug was helping me. Look, you asked me to come on here.
Old people sweeping something under the rug. But you know, you guys, that's what we do. I mean, even with talking to Angel in regards to this, it just brings to light things that we do even as adults. It has nothing to do with that she's 14. We do these things as adults where we just kick things under the rug. We don't deal with issues. We suppress them. We bully each other as adults. Who does that? You know, but I am so thankful that Angel is at a place to where she can share about the experience. She's at a place of healing. Share with me about the healing process, Angel. And then we're going to wrap it up and back. We'll wrap it up and come back next week. The healing process. No, I'm not jumping. How am I jumping? You kind of are jumping.
But okay. So
we're doing an overview tonight, so we're going to just, give them a glimpse about the healing.
But you skipped the mindset too.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the mindset, Angel. She got to keep me on track, y'all. I'm sorry. The mindset, okay?
Okay. So the mindset is just changing everything. Like,
but that's a part of the healing process, though, yeah. Right? Okay.
But like the mindset, you got to have the mindset to change. If that makes sense. Yeah, you gotta have the mindset to want to change. Because if you don't have the mindset, which I really actually didn't want to change. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm fine like this. Like, being angry is okay with me. Like, I was like, anger is fine. Not having friends is fine. Not talking to nobody is cool. Like, I don't like you anyway. Bye. Like, that's how I felt. But like, it's just. Then you was praying for me on the side, you know.
Yeah.
You was over here praying for me on the sidelines. And I was like, you know what? And then I just, yeah.
So having a mindset to change, changing, knowing that you need to change, mm-hmm. but not always comfortable, but not comfortable with the change.
Yeah, like I knew I needed to change because I wasn't finna be depressed for the rest of my life.
Okay.
But then at the same time, I was like, it's cool like this. Like, you know, I'm in a dark room. It's pretty nice in here. It's very cool in here. Like, it's no type of heat in this room. Like, you know, because that
enjoying the isolation.
Yeah, because it was like putting a bag over your head and nobody could see you.
Oh, girl, that'll preach that, girl. That'll preach that, girl. Okay, so now
we the makeup.
Right. So you need to change your mindset. Then mm-hmm. what?
Then there's the healing. That's one thing ain't nobody really prepared for.
So say for instance, you fall, you get a scratch, you get a scrape on you.
I used to laugh at myself.
And then so when the scabs start healing, and it start to dry, that little scab starts to hurt. And then you get to trying to pull it off, and it don't feel good when you try to remove the scab.
It wasn't that bad for me. I used to do it all the time.
It hurt. I don't like scars.
I got used to it.
And so it's just like us when we heal from the inside. When God began to touch us in those places that are not good, that are broken. And then you take and you let him, because now I want you to change your mind. Now you're going to let him come in and heal the brokenness. And it doesn't always feel good. The healing phase is not always comfortable, but it's necessary. It's necessary to grow up, it's necessary to mature, and it's necessary to move on to the next phase.
And the healing process is like kind of hard because that's when you actually gotta cry. Crying is one thing I don't like doing because that means I gotta wipe my face constantly. Like, ain't nobody got time for all that extra stuff. Like, I was crying on the inside all the time. Nobody knew that. And then, like, I'm telling you, my makeup was pretty, like, get out of bed. I was all angry whenever I would get out of bed. I would just be like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't even think that I exist right now. Let me be your imaginary friend and we just not talking right now. Like, that's all it gotta be. In the makeup, it was so simple to put on. Because all you gotta do, once you get to where you going, put a smile on. Don't let that smile fade. Put your head down if you want to, then the smile can fade at that time. Then once you put your head back up, then, yeah, I'm good. What you mean? What you mean about okay? I'm perfectly fine. Like, I'm fine.
But how many of us walk that out like that? How many of us walk every day hiding behind the brokenness and the pain that we feel? We're talking to a 14-year-old that has experienced bullying. She has experienced it on different levels. She has went through the healing stage. She's overcome. And she's at the place now where she can share her testimony. And so I take it to the adults because if a 14-year-old is dealing with these type of things, what are we as adults are dealing with? And so when you look at the healthy and the unhealthy seed, I want you guys to pay attention to the things that you're putting on the inside of you. Pay attention to what you're putting in your children. When the negative come, you speak the positive. You have to counteract it with the opposite of what they're hearing.
But sometimes when you hear the negative so many times and then you only have one person speaking that positive in the ear, that positive could go right through the other. And you just be like, well,
there it goes.
Guess that never was here. And then you just be like, I've been through the healing stage
a couple of times.
Too many times. I think it's like 5.
Yeah, it's a continuous.
I guess it's a good 5
times. It's a continuous phase. So we will be back next week, you guys. And
talk about the mindset.
Oh, she want to talk about the mindset next week.
I'm actually feeling that one right now. Then y'all gonna get into the healing, which I actually like the healing one too, because we're gonna have to face my emotional side. Tough.
But that's okay though. The mindset, the changing of the mind. Mm-hmm. Yes, your 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds have to change their minds. They are at the ages where they already have their own little mindset. They have their own personalities and attitudes. You have to allow them to become who they are and help them along the way. They are little us. Little us. Lord have mercy.
That's a lot of
us. And so we have to allow them to become who they are and help them through the process, help them through the phase, because they are becoming adults. They're becoming adults. They're becoming more mature and more responsible. And so share this with your friends, your family. Share this with your young adults. If you have a group of teens that you would like to share this with, please share. Know that my family, we are very transparent. We give it like it is because. Well, I mean, why hide it? But we've overcome it.
Right. Like, what's the point of hiding something if you already, everybody already know what's the point of hiding it? And plus, if somebody else going through it, you might as well just put it out there. So,
it'll help somebody else.
Right. Yes. Exactly. I done tried to help so many people. I can't, I'm not going to say I can't stand helping people. Because I like helping people. People, they need the help. They really need the help. Yeah. But
okay, come on for me.
Sometimes I don't like helping people because whenever I need their help, you know what they do? Huh?
I'm just
be like, huh? I'm sorry, I didn't get your text message till like I didn't get it till today. I'm sorry, and it'd be like 2 months later. You like, I already got over it. Like I don't even remember what I asked for your help for. Like, and then I just
Do y'all remember being 14? Lord have mercy.
I'm pretty sure y'all have to go. I'm pretty sure y'all ain't have to go through stuff like this though.
Yes, we did. We was
Not like the generation we go through though.
We
This generation is crazy. You know how many people? We'll get through this. We'll get to this next week.
Yes.
But we're gonna close. We're about to close.
So we want to say thank you all for joining tonight. Thank you for joining tonight. We love you. We appreciate you. Please like, share, and comment. If you have any questions, you can email us at impactinglives1@gmail.com. That is impactinglives1@gmail.com. You have a good night. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you gotta end it now.